Hey boys, it's Harm9. Today we're going to be going over 10 things that I wish I did sooner in Grand Theft Auto Online. And as a GTA Online player since day one, there are a lot of things that I have seen over the years of playing this game that I wish I had either purchased a lot sooner than I did, or that I wish were added into the game earlier on in its lifespan so that I could have used it for longer. So today we're going to be going over those things with the hope that some of you will take the chance on something like I did and hopefully get some benefit out of it. Before we hop into the video, consider dropping a like if you enjoy and subscribing if you're new. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing that I wish that I did sooner in GTA Online is buying business supplies. I used to be the guy that would go and I would do the resupply missions for the bunker, for the MC businesses, and I would do them all because I thought that paying the $75,000 was too much money and it would cut into my profit too much, to the point where I would barely make anything from doing the sale mission once my business was actually full. Now, since a lot of the businesses were added into the game, they've actually changed the pricing structures of those businesses themselves, but the fact is that no matter what, buying supplies is actually better than going and sourcing supplies, because there's a lot of ways to make $75,000 in less time than it takes to complete a sourcing mission, or multiple sourcing missions in some cases, to actually get your businesses up to full supplies, which will then of course produce full stock. I found this to be a super big problem, particularly with the MC businesses, where you'd have to do multiple resupply missions, especially if you're a solo player, to even get one business up to being full supplies. And then it will make about half stock, and then you're gonna have to do it all over again. Plus, there's about 4 different businesses that you also have to do it for. So by the time you've done it multiple times over and over again, A, you're sick of the businesses themselves, B, they might get raided, and C, in that time, you could have definitely made enough money to offset the cost of purchasing the supplies in the first place. And of course, you're gonna make a profit on selling, even if you purchase all the supplies you need for one of these businesses. Just as a quick example, the bunker takes $75,000 to buy a supply for it, which will give it full supplies. Now that will make you $210,000 worth of product, which gives you a nice profit of $135,000 every single time you resupply. So it's very worth it to do it because you're still going to make a ton of money doing it. Obviously a bit less than if you went out and sourced the supplies yourselves, but if you go and do some high money making opportunities during the time that it would have taken you to do the resupply missions yourself, you'll come out way far ahead in the long run. So I would highly advise you to buy business supplies, because that's something that I didn't do for a very long time, but now it's pretty much the only thing I do, other than hitting the stash house, of course, which will give you free supplies for one of your businesses, which I do also recommend doing, for the record. At number 9, we have agency security contracts. Now these were only added in December of 2021, but I remember around the time when they were added, I was like, is it worth it? Like, I don't know, it seems like a lot of work to get up to 200 security contracts. In fact, it was actually 500 security contracts for a maximum of $50,000 per in-game day in GTA Online, but they quickly changed that down to only 201 contracts and $20,000 a day. But I was always skeptical if these were actually going to be worth it or not, but then I started slowly whittling away at them when security contracts would go on double money, which they used to a lot more often. They don't really do that much anymore, but if they ever do go on double money, I highly recommend doing them, because for the security contracts, you'll probably make between, I would say, 60,000 at the bottom end on double money to probably closer to like $160,000 if you get one of the higher end security contracts. And for each one of these that you do, you build towards making more money passively, which you will get forever. Now I've had my agency security contracts maxed on 2 different characters now, so I've done 402 security contracts at least over the span of the last 4 years. But I get $20,000 per in-game day on each character, and I've had that going for probably 2.5 years now, and it's very, very worth it, I can honestly tell you. You get paid for the security contracts, which totals probably around $20 to $30 million by the time you've completed all 200 of them, plus you're going to get $20,000 every in-game day forever after. But on your way up, through the security contracts, you're going to get paid for that as well into the agency wall safe. So these are super worth doing, and don't let anyone convince you that they're not. This is a great way to make some passive income and some active income in the meantime as well. On to the next thing that I wish I did sooner, or in this case used sooner, is using motorcycles. I am a serial motorcycle hater in GTA Online. I always thought they were way too risky to be worth it, but in the past, I'd say 5 years, I've come around to the fact that they're just a lot faster than cars in a lot of different ways, particularly for use in the time trials. Now, if you can avoid falling off your bike in a time trial, motorcycles are 100% the way to go. They're so much faster than cars, they're more maneuverable than cars, you can go in between vehicles on the highway, you can off-road a lot easier with motorcycles. Overall, they are just so much better for completing the weekly regular time trial, and if you have the HSW Hakuchu drag, they're way better for completing the HSW time trial in most cases as well. So if you're not using motorcycles, if you're scared to use motorcycles, don't be. Give them a shot, give them an honest try. Plus, there's also some motorcycles in GTA Online that have speed glitches, which help you to get around way faster than you otherwise would be able to. So overall, I would just say give motorcycles a chance. I wish that I did sooner. Next up, we got the MC businesses, which were added in the fall of 2016. And these I did use a lot when they first came out. However, there got to be a period where MC businesses were not that great. They removed some of the better sale missions, like getting bags for your MC missions. I don't know if any of you guys will even remember bags, but sometimes you'd go into your business, you'd start the sale mission, and you'd come out with a duffel bag on your back, and that was all you had to do. You just had to get somewhere, and you could use any vehicle you wanted to get there. That was a great sale mission. But slowly as time went on, they started removing those. But of course, as we all know, they kept the terrible MC missions, like the delivery vans, trash trucks, and the seaplanes. However, they did keep the 4 motorcycle mission as well as the buzzards, which were some of the better MC missions, if you can believe it, even though they're both kind of awful as well. But there got to be a point where after they removed bags and things just weren't going well, and then they added the Oppressor Mark II into the game, and you could only sell in public sessions with MCs. So for a long time, I stopped using them entirely. And it was not until about a year ago when I actually started using MC businesses again, and they've made them significantly better since 2016, or even 2020 for that matter. With the most recent DLC, they removed delivery vans as a sale vehicle, which was an absolutely massive win, and they also increased the value of the counterfeit cash factory and the weed farm if you own the car wash and smoke on the water. Additionally, they've also added some single vehicle deliveries for the MC businesses as well, which is super nice to see, and the payouts are way better on all of them since 2022, when Rockstar increased the payouts by 25% on each business. So MC businesses truly are worth doing now, in my opinion at least. A lot of people are still going to say they're not worth it, they're trash, but if you can fill them up for close to free with the stash house, and if you can sell in a session where you get 50% more money at little to no risk, like in a crew session, which we run out of our new Discord, by the way, link in the description down below, you can actually get a full high demand bonus in a crew session that is completely safe. I don't think many people seem to know about this, but that is a fact. So if you're interested in that, join our Discord, it's in the description down below. The long and the short of it is though, MC businesses are significantly better now than they were when they were even first added, but even after the dark ages of the MC businesses in 2017 and 2018, I would say especially, they are significantly better now, and I do recommend actually using them. The next thing that I wish that I did sooner was actually managed and understood the nightclub business a little bit better, because for the longest time I didn't understand that the nightclub had a basement to it when it was first added. And that is probably the best aspect of the business, at least it was back then. Now, another thing that a lot of you won't know, and I've actually been called out about this before, and people have said that I don't know how to run my nightclub business, and that's the fact that they changed the safe from being $10,000 a day to $50,000 a day in 2022, when the enhanced edition of GTA came out on console. The nightclub safe used to actually max out at 10K per day, guys, and there was no kick out troublemaker or drive the VIP home to increase popularity. You had to do the old popularity missions, which were pretty awful. and I definitely did not recommend doing them back in the day. But now that the nightclub fully works and is better, it is definitely something that everybody should be using. But even back in the day, it was something that I should have been using better. I should have understood how the nightclub basement worked. I should have understood how to increase popularity easier by like switching DJs and stuff like that, but I didn't understand it. So if you're confused about the nightclub and you want to know more about it, I do have a nightclub guide linked in the description down below, in case you're curious and want to learn how it actually works and how to run it most efficiently. So check that out. But that's something I definitely wish that I did sooner, was actually learn how the nightclub business worked. Next up, we have another business that I wish that I used sooner on in GTA Online. Although it's gotten a lot better over time, and when it first came out, it was actually quite genuinely pretty ass. And of course, I'm talking about the hangar business, which was added in 2017. This business used to be absolutely awful. The crates used to be worth $10,000 a piece, and the missions to source them used to take between 10 and 30 minutes. So if you do the math on that, I mean, a maximum of like 60K an hour, not very good by any standard. However, the hangar business has changed a lot since it was initially added. Back in 2022, they increased the value of the air freight cargo crates from $10,000 to $30,000 a piece, and they also changed so that you could do land-based hangar missions as well, which are significantly better. The sail missions also have gotten easier over time, and the bonuses for holding cargo have increased over time as well, and now the hangar business is actually exceptionally good. Plus, they also added Rooster, who's kind of cool, but also kind of ruins the hangar in some ways, because he sources you random cargo, and he'll cost $25,000 every time he goes to do it, but he is kind of cool at the same time as well. But overall, the hangar has improved very much since it initially released, and it's definitely something that I regret not using sooner. Again, this is one that I just started using within, I would say, the last 6 months. I've actually been like kind of using it regularly. Whereas back in the day, I tried to use it and it was just ass, and I just stopped. Next up, we have HSW cars, and these were added in March of 2022 to console and March of 2025 to PC. HSW cars, I honestly think everybody can probably say we wish these would have existed for a lot longer than they have existed in GTA Online, but due to console limitations and stuff like that, they were unable to be added. But now that we have HSW cars in GTA Online, I really can't picture myself driving anything non-HSW very often. Now, with that being said, there's a lot of cars I absolutely love that don't have HSW available for them in the first place, but I would say generally cars in GTA feel a little bit miserable to drive now that we have HSW vehicles available to us. So I really hope that they add more HSW cars into the game, but I also wish that we got these sooner on PC, because having to wait 3 years after console has had them for so long is kind of crazy to me. But I'm just glad that we finally have them now, because they are truly an awesome addition to the game. But as somebody who primarily played on PC, I just wish that we got these a lot sooner. Now for the next thing that I wish that I knew and realized and started doing sooner is to do with the CEO cargo warehouses. I was unaware of the fact that you could own 5 CEO cargo warehouses until around 2023. I didn't realize you could have 5 of these things. Now granted, they weren't that amazing back in the day, but since they added the warehouse workers in the summer of 2022, these are my favorite way to make money in this entire game. If you didn't know, each CEO cargo warehouse that you own will have a warehouse technician inside of it, which you can go to and pay them $7,500, and they will source you 1 to 3 regular crates, also with a 1% chance of sourcing you a high value crate that is worth $100,000 or more. And you get 5 of these guys if you have the 5 large CEO warehouses. Now, this is my primary way of actually making money in GTA Online now. The first thing I do when I log in is go to my warehouses and passive source them all by talking to the warehouse technicians. And since last year, I've made about $150 to $200 million at this point using just my large CEO cargo warehouses on both of my characters. This is a crazy good way to make money, guys. And if you're not taking advantage of this, you're absolutely crazy, and you need to start sooner than later, because this is something that I wish I did sooner. I wish I understood as soon as the warehouse technicians got added into the game that this was the best way to make money in GTA Online, and I truly wholeheartedly believe that. It is such a good way to make money. But next up, we have the Terabyte Master Control Terminal, which was added in the Agents of Sabotage DLC of December of 2024, so last year. The Master Control Terminal in the Terabyte is significantly more useful than the one in the arcade, but the one in the arcade I did not use until probably about 2020, and that's when I realized the true value of the Master Control Terminal. Being able to go to one location to purchase supplies for all of your businesses is insanely good as somebody who used to go to all of their MC businesses, their bunker, to go and manually purchase supplies. And as a matter of fact, this is going to tie into the number one point as well, but I used to drive to all these businesses to go and purchase supplies. But the Master Control Terminals have truly changed the game for somebody like me, and it can change the game for somebody like you as well. And I highly recommend getting the Master Control Terminal in your Terabyte because it's so much more convenient to be able to just call your Terabyte to somewhere close to you, go inside of it, do what you need to do, and then get on with your life. Instead of having to go all the way to your arcade and do it there, it's so much more convenient to get it in the Terabyte. The Terabyte is also such a useful vehicle in general because it's one of the most armored vehicles in the game and everything like that. But the Terabyte Master Control Terminal is something I wish was added into GTA Online like very shortly after the arcade got the Master Control Terminal, because this would have been a massive time saver over the last like 4 years. It's super good and I highly recommend it. But the one thing that I wish I did sooner in GTA Online, the number one thing, is using the Oppressor Mark II. The Oppressor Mark II is a vehicle that I have notoriously hated. I've got videos talking about how much I hate it on my channel. It is probably enemy number one of the GTA Online community, and I was one of the people that was so against it, I swore I would never ever own one. And now I use it all the time. And I know a lot of people are gonna be like, man, you switched up, like that sucks. But honestly, guys, the Oppressor Mark II is the best vehicle for getting around short range in GTA Online. If you have to stay within Los Santos and get from point A to point B, the Oppressor Mark II is the fastest vehicle in the entire game to use for something like that. Now, helicopters are great, don't get me wrong, but the time to spool a helicopter up and also land it, being that they're a lot bigger than the Oppressor Mark II, takes a significant amount of time that the Oppressor Mark II just simply doesn't. It's also very small and very maneuverable, and you can get it into a lot of places that you cannot get a helicopter. You can even get it closer to the door of many businesses than you can with a helicopter. So the Oppressor Mark II, while it's had a price increase to $6 million or $8 million, depending on if you have the trade price or not, this is something that I wish that I had sooner in GTA Online. It is absolutely the best vehicle for grinding in this game. And if you hate it like I did, I would honestly say please give it a chance because it has saved me so much time over the years. It is a very good vehicle. You just don't use it for griefing. And people that do use it for griefing, still you're a scumbag. I hate you. But anyone else who's using the Oppressor Mark II, good for you. You're saving yourself time. You're being smart. And I would advise all of you to do the same like I have done now. But anyway, guys, those are 10 things that I wish I did sooner in GTA Online. Now, I know this video is probably a little bit different to some of the previous top 10s that you guys have probably seen on my channel. And I think that I've really found my place with doing the top 10s. And I think I used to do them a lot better than I have been doing them for the last year or so. I've been writing scripts for the last year or so, and I feel like my top 10s have not been nearly as good, but in this one, I just decided to talk like I normally did back in the day when I first started making top 10s. So please let me know what you think in the comments down below, but I feel like my videos are a lot better when I just kind of freestyle it like this, but let me know what you guys think. I think some cases it probably would be better to write a script, but I'm just generally curious to see what you guys think. If you enjoyed the video, consider dropping a like and subscribing if you're new, and I will see you guys all in the next video. Until then, take care. Peace.